What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Cooking Brass YouTube channel, where today we are back down in the bunker and we will be doing a review on my 11.5 Palmetto State Armory complete pistol build. First things first, I want to thank you for coming back and viewing the channel. If you're somebody who's new and just now finding the comment, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe, comment down to the comment section below. Go ahead and try to help get this video out into the algorithm so we can build this channel and build the community. And if you have any recommendations whatsoever on video content setups throughout here, just go ahead, give some tips and advice down below to help. Now, let's get into the build. As I stated before, this is my 11.5 pistol build. You have seen this previously in the last video that we did about the Witt Machine muzzle devices and muzzle brakes. So now we'll take this from tip down to butt. Starting at the tip, on the very end, we have the Witt Machine sound mitigation equipment. This is their version of a blast can, and as you've seen in the previous video, you have the 4-inch blast can here that threads on to the Witt Machine muzzle brake. So this pretty much just helps out with the recoil and just keeps that muzzle down as you're training it on a firing schedule. And then you just throw this on so you're not blasting your own ears out or everybody else's ears around you and have that concussion knocking it like crazy. So once we go from here, coming back on that, it is set on a 4150 chromoly vanadium barrel. It is a 1-in-7 twist rate and is black nitride coated. On the very tip, this has a 1/2 by 28 thread pitch, so it could take any muzzle device that is normally used for other AR-15s. Coming back on that, you have a carbine length gas system with a .75 low profile gas block. On top of that, you have Palmetto State Armory's proprietary M-LOK rail that has small anti-rotation tabs right here on the gun, so you can go ahead and mount accessories out here on this end, and you're not going to have to worry about the handguard rotating back and forth as you fire. And if something starts to loosen up, those anti-rotation tabs will help it stay in place and not move, so you don't lose your zero, whether you're running a thermal up top or whether you have to move your red dot forward for some reason to run a bigger magnifier. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. On here on the very top, I've just got elastic tape on there that helps with heat mitigation, because where I've got these accessories at, the gas block is right under that. So if I'm on a higher fire schedule, then it'll heat up quicker, and so I'm not having to resort down here onto the hand stop or change my grip. And when it starts to get uncomfortable, you know, we're just able to keep it on there. So on this side, I have a Monstrum Tactical M-LOK light. It's a very durable, very solid light. It is USB-C charging, and I have this as a tail switch. I ended up breaking the pressure pad that was here. I slammed the cable into a drawer or into my gun cabinet one time when I was just using it for parts and just switching it around before I completely put it on here. So it broke the cable, which that's why when I have it right here, I'm still able to actuate the tail switch on this flashlight, which I don't have a problem with the tail switch. You know, it kind of gives you a peace of mind when it comes to accidental discharges at night. If you're training under night vision or with thermals, you're not blinding anybody else, or if you're in a situation where you need complete control on it, I feel like you have better control with the tail switch. So coming back here, we have the dye-free code Tiger Claw. As I've said in all my videos, Dye Free Company is a very, very good brand when it comes to their pistol grips and their hand stops and other furniture that they make. It is very comfortable. It's comfortable in the hand, you know, to get a positive grip, and just locks you in. And where their pistol grips have more of a vertical angle on there, it helps you engage that and bring the buttstock back into your chest for a better grip, more control over the rifle. Coming back on it, on this side, I have a QD that allows for the quick detach on the slings, so I could just take it on and off if need be. Plus, this one has locking, so it's not like a lot of the cheaper ones that just free spin and you can get your sling wound up. It locks, so it'll stay in place for you. Then coming back, we have the Palmetto State upper and on a Palmetto State lower, and the lower is stamped with their logo. They are both made out of 7075 T6 aluminum, and I will say, where I bought this as a complete rifle, it has very good fitment between the upper and the lower. You don't have a lot of rocking, to whereas on my 16-inch Geisley build, video coming out on that here soon as well, where I bought the upper and the lower separate, I feel like there's just a little bit more room of movement in between there. It's nothing crazy to where it'll drive you nuts. It's just a little bit more noticeable than here where it's like a tighter fitment. So just putting that out there. Then coming down here, we have a mil-spec mag release. I have an ambidextrous safety. I think it's just a cheaper one that I've got from Primary Arms, just CMMG. I've got this on most of my builds. Then we have just a regular mil-spec bolt catch bolt release. You have the forward assist here. Coming down, we have just a standard mil-spec trigger guard, standard mil-spec trigger fire control group, and then up top up here, I have the upgraded, hopefully you can see that, it's an upgraded ambidextrous Palmetto State Armory charging handle, which I got a couple of these while Palmetto was still making them. I haven't been able to find them ever since, but they are very solid. They're bigger, so if you're just running it real quick, you're able to get a good grip on it and catch a hold of it. Doesn't matter what side you pull, you're going to be able to pull that charging handle back and either get your next round out or clear whatever malfunction you have. Inside, I just have a Toolcraft black nitride bolt carrier group that's been, I think it's magnetic particle inspected, but I don't think it's high pressure tested for this one. So haven't had any issues with it. The QC is good on it. You have the grade 8 screws that are staked to mil-spec standards, as well as I went ahead and sat it on the top. The gas rings and everything seem to have been holding up good on it. I have maybe, I'd say, 500 to 600 rounds to this rifle as of now. Haven't had the first malfunction out of it, even when switching from different muzzle devices and just tinkering and switching parts around on it. I haven't had the first malfunction or issue out of it. It's a smoother shooting gun, I will say that. I don't think it's overgassed. I think it's gassed properly. As we come back here, you have their staked castle nut. Just gives you a peace of mind that the castle nut won't rock or walk off with you on some of these other ARs that you even have higher end ARs that don't come with staked castle nuts. You just have to hope and pray, put your reference marks on there that it's on there good enough and that you don't have to crank on it every single time, or that it will come loose while you're shooting. So these are staked, which is awesome. That's something Palmetto has done on all of their lowers that I've gotten from them, and it's a great feature in my opinion. And that comes back onto a mil-spec buffer tube with a mil-spec buffer and buffer spring that comes with this build. Then on top of that, I have a SBA5, and as you see right here, where it's the rubber, that's what makes it the pistol brace. So I don't have to get that extra tack stamp to slap a stock on here. So I'm very happy with the SBA5. I've run this on this 11.5 and my 10.5 Jackal build. Video will be coming out on that soon as well. And I don't have an issue with them. I like SB Tactical's braces a lot. I think they are very quality. And to be honest with you, I think this is the most rugged one that you can shoot out normally, or if you have to shoulder it or want to shoulder it, you can, and it doesn't feel like a flimsy or wobbly pistol brace when you come up to your shoulder. And then back in here, that back cap backs off a little bit too, in case you need to put something there. And then I just have CV Life, just a cheap sling that I had laying around that has the little bit of elastic stretch right there. And then on top of here, I have a Bortex Crossfire Red Dot. This is the older model, if I'm correct, but it has been an absolute tank throughout every round that I've put through here. The dot has always been bright. Hadn't had to replace the battery at all. I actually picked this up used at my local gun shop, and it has just ran like a tack. I cannot complain with this. This is my very first, I would say, mid-range. I mean, I would say they're nice for the money. This is, in my opinion, Vortex makes the best sights that you can get for the money. My opinion, I haven't got to try out a lot of the other ones. You know, EOTech, I love my EOTechs, but I can't go out and buy 5 EOTechs. You know, you could get 3 or 4 of these for the price of an EOTech. So do with that as you wish. This is what made me go and get more Bortex Red Dots, is because of how well this is ran. So yeah, this is my 11.5 Palmetto State Armory pistol build. This gun has been to every single range day that I've went to. It's just so much fun to have out there on the range. It's just something a little bit different than having, you know, your regular 16-inch AR out there. And my hopes with this is, if I'm able to get into training or to some competitions, that I'll be able to run that and be able to maneuver a lot easier with that than a 16-inch, which, you know, it's all depending on training or whatever you need to do. So this is also my home defense weapon, that if anything goes on at all, I have that there, and I know I'll be able to clear the rest of the house if I need to maneuver a little bit easier. And I know it's controversial whether some people say, you know, you should have a shotgun, you should have a pistol, you know, an AR, a PCC when clearing the house. But in my opinion, it's whatever you feel comfortable with, that when you put it in your hand, you know that you and your loved ones that are in that house that you are having to protect in that moment, you will be okay and that you can depend on it. And as I said, I haven't had any kind of issue whatsoever on having to depend on this AR. I plan to do a couple more pistol builds. The shortest I might go is probably a 10.5. If not, I will probably go and get a 300 blackout upper to run on this. I've got a suppressor hopefully coming soon, so I'll be able to do a little bit of training with the suppressor and get some reviews out on that as well. But yeah, you got to think, when you have an 11.5 and you stick a 3 to 6 inch suppressor on there, you're technically making that a 15 to 16 inch rifle. To where if you stick that length of a suppressor on a 16 inch gun, you're taking that 16 inch and extending it out to 20 to 21 inches. So it helps, and I really like the shorter ARs that I have. This is probably the shortest one that I've went to, just because of all the research and everything that I've done, that it shows the big difference between a 10.5 and an 11.5, where the 10.5, once you step down to it runs a lot harsher as far as the gassing and on your components and everything. So that's why I went with an 11.5, because it shows it's that sweet spot, and then just go up from there. So hopefully I'll be able to maybe get a 12.5, 12.9, or, you know, a 13.7. I've already got a 14.5 that I'm trying to put some rounds through as time goes on and get a review out for y'all for that. And then I'll go right to a 16 inch. So yeah, I hope that you found this video informative. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. If you like this video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, comment, get us in the algorithm, you know, help this channel grow. Go ahead and recommend this to whatever friends that you've got out there, if you think they would like this content as well. But at the end of the day, I'm really grateful for having the opportunity to do this. Still rearranging some things in the bunker, for say, so hopefully we'll be able to film down here a lot better and be able to get more content and videos out to you. So yeah, if you stay to the end of this video, I thank you so much for supporting the channel and helping me out through this, and I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.